You are getting very sleepy, very sleepy. Just kidding. Hypnosis is something that I know, like way back in the day, we always thought it was about that. You're getting very sleepy. The person on stage, they're doing all this performance and antics, but that's not all that hypnosis is. That is a great piece, but that's not what it's all about. I'm excited to introduce to you our guest today. We're going to be talking about hypnosis, how you can use this for success in your life, your personal life, your professional life. And so excited to bring her up in just a minute. I remember it was back in the day, probably 1975 or something like that. We were told at school that they were going to bring a hypnotist in, and we filled the entire, what do you call it, the stadium inside of the school. And we had these, hundreds and hundreds of people there. And this hypnotist got up on the stage and he hypnotized everybody. And they started doing all these weird antics. And I literally thought that that was what hypnosis was all about, until later in life, I ended up meeting some hypnotists who help people through different things in their lives. One of the things that I was working on is getting my speed up in court reporting. And I had heard about a hypnotist that could help me to get that speed up. I was in court reporting school for about 4.5 years, and she helped me to get my speed up a little bit, but I had a lot more blocks that were going on down really deep inside that I needed to work on. I'm excited to introduce to you Lauren Best. Lauren Best is not only a hypnotist, but she helps people to move to that successful stage in their life. Lauren, come on up here.
Hi.
Welcome to the stage, Lauren. I'm so excited to have you
Thank
today.
you. Thank you. I love those stories that you shared because I think my very first experience too was in junior high, seeing the drama kids be hypnotized by the stage hypnotist and it being a wild experience. So,
Yeah. Well, it's
yeah.
funny because there's I don't remember who it was, but there was like back in the old days
Mm,
when movies first started, they did those movies that were what they called them talkies, even though there was no talking, right? They were the silent films.
right.
And I
Yeah.
remember they would show a picture of somebody being hypnotized and they were like, "Ooh, ooh," like this.
And all the visuals, right? It's just wild. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just this like this crazy world that we didn't know anything about for so many years. And now here it is. We've got a lot of people who are helping people through, through different situations in their lives, different
Mm,
things in their past, helping them to move forward in their future. And I'm excited to talk to you about hypnosis because this topic is something that has always fascinated me from way back in the day, but also about how it's helped me in different areas of my life, working with
mhm.
different hypnotists. And I actually, it's interesting because that first experience that I had of being put under, I didn't think I could, because I
Mm,
have this strong will, right? Or this
yeah.
strong sense of I don't believe it can
Yeah.
happen. And it did happen. So let's talk
Mm.
about first. I want to hear, what is hypnosis? What is hypnosis? And why is it something that we should look into to see how this might be able to help us?
Yeah, I love that question because there are like endless possibilities for how it can help us. Like you sharing your example of wanting to increase your speed of typing, for your job. Like that's one really great niche example, like that, and that ability to support us to enhance things in our lives. And for me, I really look at hypnosis as a self development tool that allows us to surpass that critical part of our mind, that part of our brain, which is actually, I think the studies keep coming out that it's like less than 5% of, it might even be less than that, that our critical brain is actually less than 5% of our whole entire brain. So our subconscious is huge, and it's not something that we have access to like we do our critical mind, which is at the forefront. So being able to access our subconscious mind is through hypnosis is the fastest way. There's other ways like writing and journaling, which are ways to, tap into that. There are, the moments where we're really interested in our book and we get lost in our book, right? When we're watching TV, all these things that draw our attention. And so I kind of like, we think of hypnosis as this tool that um allows us to go into a place where we're so deeply relaxed, where we can surpass that critical part of the brain. We can access our subconscious mind. And it's almost like taking us out of hypnosis, because in our everyday life, there's so many things that are drawing our focus and attention that we're not necessarily noticing, like all the things happening around us, or we're not noticing maybe like certain moments of beauty or attention to certain details. It just kind of gets lost. So in that hypnotic state, we can not only access the subconscious mind, but we can, you know, what I like to encourage people to think of is just like being open to the experience that our subconscious mind can share with us, because our subconscious mind will always show us exactly what it is we need to see or feel or hear and experience, because everyone experiences it so differently. But it really, we can have these focus areas, like you said, your ability or your desire to increase your ability and speed and all these things. But there's so many layers to it. There's so many things our subconscious mind will show us, or has the possibility to show us and to support us to explore, whether it be rewriting stories in our minds from childhood that showed us or made us believe like we shouldn't even believe in ourselves, or that we can't do
Mm.
this, we shouldn't do that. And we can let go of some of these stories. We can rewrite them. We can tap in through hypnosis even more so into our bodies and our hearts and reconnect with their intuition. And there's so much more, I think, than what kind of again, what lies on the surface that we get to explore, that we don't necessarily expect, or we're not entirely sure what is possible until we experience it for ourselves. So yeah, there's so much that we
I can
can.
tell you're a little bit passionate about this.
Yeah, I mean, it changed my life. It was an unexpected thing that I just, I was really struggling in. I was in this like this time in my life where I had lost my job. I ended up back home in Canada for the first time in probably 6 years unexpectedly, and was just like, what am I doing? I didn't realize the burnout I had gone through. I didn't realize the full impact that my nervous system had
Mhm.
like was experiencing. And so learning, I think, about these different healing modalities, or these different tools that allow us to tap into the power within ourselves, was something that was building in my curiosity. So I was like really thinking like, I can't live like this. Like, I don't know what's next, but I know right here, right now, and how I feel and what I'm believing about myself is not it. Because I had all of these really intrusive thoughts of like, I'm not good enough to do this, or if I go back to a traditional workplace, I'm gonna like really risk my health and all these things. So yeah, I started hearing about it through different people, and I I found this woman who was a hypnotherapist, and I started working with her. I thought at the time really to focus on getting my business off the ground, because that was another thing I was starting to do, not realizing all of the like traumas and stress and nervous system chaos that was happening. And so
Mhm.
it was a big onion of things. And it's a big thing for me to continue to do for myself, but it brought me to a place where this is helping me. Like, I bet this can help the few handful of clients that I had that I was coaching at the time, other solopreneurs. So yeah, it was just, again, like kind of a leap of faith, not really being in a place where I knew all the answers still. And during that process of becoming certified, I was learning so many areas, going through so many lessons and initiations and just like turmoil in my life. And so it kind of just, came at the perfect timing for me, and is something now that I'm like even more deep into just like exploring all these possibilities and bringing more of like realizing now it's more than just the mind. It is the subconscious mind, but it is that connection to our body, and being able to tap into the body while in hypnosis is something like that has I've really felt that shift and change inside myself, but how I'm working with clients now and really building that trust and listening to the body and just the whole ecosystem of it, and like feeling that love, that self-love, that universal love comes along with it, and it's such a key component. So, yeah, it's always surprising me. I'm always learning new things as I continue my own journey of working with the hypnotherapist, but also working with people who are coming to me to unlock that same potential inside of themselves. So, it's always new possibilities all over the place.
Yes. Well, we're talking to Lauren Best. She's one of the authors in our book, Mind Body Connection. You can get your copy of the book at actiontakerspublishing.com/connection. While you're over there, there's free gifts from the authors as well. Please go get your free gifts. Again, that's actiontakerspublishing.com/connection. Go get a copy of this book. It's absolutely amazing. The keys to unlocking your full potential, the mind body connection. So, Lauren, there's a couple things you mentioned there that I want to dive into a little bit. And you're talking about the subconscious. And so one things I would like to talk about, maybe let's keep this just a little bit brief, because what we're going to do is we're going to do a suggestibility test, something you were telling me about a little bit before we got started here. And one thing I want to mention is that here, Lauren's talking about how, she has used this hypnosis. It has helped her tremendously in her own life. And before we got started here, it's interesting because what you were just saying about, the chaos and the different things that were going on in your life, using the hypnosis in your life has transformed you. Because before we got started, you was like, you know what, we'll just like whatever happens, happens. And in a very like laissez-faire type of attitude, which is awesome because it's like a go with the flow, right? We're going
Oh,
with the
yeah.
flow. Instead of in the past, when you experience chaos or when we experience chaos, we're fighting against something. And so
Yes.
what I would love for you to talk about before we do the suggestibility test, which I'm excited to do, it's going to be interesting. Y'all definitely want to tune in for that. I want you to talk a little bit about the subconscious and how do we bring what's in the subconscious to the conscious mind,
Mhm.
if we do, because I don't even know if we do.
Yeah.
But if we, how do we do that in order to effect transformation in our lives?
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's three ways to program the subconscious mind. So the first way is from the time we're born. I think there's studies again that are going on that it might even be as soon as like 3 months in the womb. I don't know for sure, but there's always new things coming out about this. Essentially, from the time we're born to the age of 7, we can think of our minds like a sponge. Everything that's happening around us, we're taking in, we're absorbing, we're unable to really discern what's right from wrong, or we kind of categorize things, or we sponge up these experiences as facts or the truth based on our environments, the people around us, our teachers, our family, whoever it may be, right? So we're programming our mind, we're seeing things on TV, we're seeing things happening all around us. So that's kind of like from that age of 0 to 7, we're programming our minds. So the next way is again through that journaling, like can be through writing or journaling. It can be from different like movements of the body. It can be from reprogramming our beliefs one by one, and that can be done through affirmation practice. But those things, they take a lot of repetition. It's not something where we can necessarily write some affirmations down once and reprogram all of our beliefs and thoughts. So, the quickest and most effective way to actually access the subconscious mind is through hypnosis, to then, surpass that critical mind through being able to relax the body, to relax the mind so deeply, even beyond meditation, to a place where we feel that safety, and it is a sleep like state. When we experience hypnosis, we're not asleep, but it is a sleep like state. So the great part about it is that our subconscious mind, through the guide of a hypnotherapist, hypnotist, or even through audios, which also are more like repetition. But through those experiences, whatever suggestions myself or whoever is guiding you is giving you, even though you're like in this highly suggestible state within hypnosis, if it doesn't fully like align to your values or who, like what it is you desire, and it's up to the hypnotist or hypnotherapist to be supporting you, to guide you. But if you're receiving suggestions that aren't aligned to the like your values and your desires, then it's not necessarily going to change your beliefs or anything like that. And why I say that is because I think there can be a lot of fear for people who are like, I don't want to let go because I'm
Right.
scared of being vulnerable and maybe walking away, feeling like I need to do things I don't want to do, or feeling like there's like this sense of mind control, right? It's totally not like that, in the sense that you are still able to control the experience. You can open your eyes at any moment. You can really, go through that process of trusting in yourself and trusting in that experience. And so being able to, through hypnosis, explore, like recall, what is the first time I felt that feeling of doubting myself, or not feeling like I can believe in myself, or I'm worthy of something. We can tap into the body, like find out where that's sitting, and that emotion, what story that emotion ties to and that feeling ties to in our past. And we can go back and we can nurture that inner child who needed that support, or we can intercept and rewrite the story. The best part about these visualizations within our subconscious is that our subconscious doesn't know whether or not something happened in real life or not. It's like redesigning these stories within our own subconscious to really support the life that we want, to support the new beliefs that we want, the desires we have. So it's just magical. It really is
Magic.
amazing.
Do you believe in magic? It's a
Yeah.
song from the 70s. Okay, I love all that. And the one thing you mentioned again was that suggestibility.
Yeah.
And I had heard that, previously, that if it's not something that's in alignment with who we are, we won't do it. As
Mhm.
and I think that there's probably a little caveat there, is
Yeah.
that if we feel that we trust the hypnotherapist or the hypnotist,
And if
and
it also
yeah.
aligns to where we wanna go, right? Like, if you have that desire to, be seen more on camera, or to believe in yourself, to be able to write down your beautiful ideas or experiences, but there's that fear that's stopping you, right? Like, that's where we get to really see, like, are you ready? And a lot of the times like, people are ready, and if they're not, then that's okay too. Like, that gets to be a next step. But yeah, there are,
Yeah.
like you said, a caveat to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because if you're not willing to be open and honest with yourself and vulnerable with yourself, like if we're not willing to do that, then how can we be willing to do that with a stranger or somebody who's,
Mm,
putting us into a hypnosis state of mind? And
yeah.
so it's really us being open. And that's one thing. So I
Mhm.
shared with Lauren before we got started that I literally am an open book. I have no problem doing anything in front of people. And a lot of that was because I broke through a fear every day for a year, which was me breaking through like my childhood crap that I had
Yeah.
built up. It helped me a lot. Still have a long ways to go, but it helped me a lot. And so one things we're going to do right now is we're going to do a suggestibility test. So first, Lauren, before we do this, tell us what this test is and why you use it.
Yes. So the suggestibility test is something that a lot of hypnotherapists use. I myself use when I'm working with someone one on one for the very first time. There are people who join me for group experiences for the first time. You won't necessarily experience this test, but when we're working one on one together, it's really important that I, as the hypnotherapist, understand the way that you're more able to respond to suggestions, because everyone is very different. So what we do is this suggestibility test, where I will guide you through a series of suggestions to really see how it is you're responding. So it's not a pass or fail test by any
Okay.
means. There's no
Whew.
A plus, no D minus, nothing like that. But it's really for me to understand, yeah, how can I really support you the best? And what suggestions can I give you? So
Okay,
there,
before we go there, I
yeah.
want to just share that, for you watching, if this is something you're interested in, pay attention to what she does here. And if it's something you're interested in diving into to learning a little bit more about, please go to her website. It's Lauren, LAUREN dash best, BEST.com. Lauren at dash best.com. Head on over there and pay attention to what we're doing now, because I have no idea what's coming up. I'm excited to do it because I just love all this stuff. It's so exciting to me. And so I'm ready, Lauren. Lay it on me.
Okay, I thought maybe I'd ask quickly
Oh,
too, since we're
yes.
going to be in hypnosis, not super deep, but enough where I can, offer suggestions to your subconscious that will support, you to reprogram the mind. Is there anything right now, Linda, that, has been on your heart or your mind, something that you're ready to experience or lean into or trust a little bit more? Anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, lots of things come to mind. So I'll choose one of them. Right now, one of the things that we're looking for, this year, this is 2024. If you're watching this in 2025, it's already happened. But in 2024, one of the things I'm really, really focusing on is connecting with celebrities to publish their stories. And so what I would like to work on is my confidence level in approaching them.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to write that down.
Okay.
Okay. Beautiful. Well, we will incorporate that into the suggestibility test after we get into that state of hypnosis. Before I bring you back up, I will share some affirmations to support that. So let's
Okay.
do it.
Let's do it.
Great. So, Linda, before you close your eyes, I'm just going to ask you to place your hand out in front of your face, just with a slight bend on the elbow here. Perfect. That's excellent. So, again, this is a test of your suggestibility. This is not a test that you can pass or fail. So, do not try to help or hinder me in any way at all. I would like you to just simply sit up straight on that chair that you're sitting on with your feet firmly on the floor, just gazing into that hand now, gazing into the middle finger of that hand. And so as you begin to just look at that hand, gaze at that middle finger, and just concentrate a little bit on that finger, noticing how your fingers may be spreading or jerking. They may feel this desire to relax more and more, and just surrendering to that feeling of spreading and jerking and pulling slowly further and further apart. And even if it's a little bit, you can just trust that those fingers are ready to relax, and you can just allow them to relax more and more and spread and pull further and further apart, just allowing any jerking motions of the fingers to allow those fingers to just spread further and further and further and further. That's right. Even so slightly, it's just simply telling you that you're able to relax more and more and more and more. And you can just continue to allow yourself to gaze upon that middle finger there as you allow the fingers to spread and jerk full apart, spreading, jerking fully, moving apart, further and further apart. That's right. And as you find yourself becoming more and more relaxed, Linda, you can begin to feel as if the hand is beginning to move towards your face, almost as though there's a magnet on the tip of that middle finger and the bottom of your ear, feeling as though that hand is moving closer and closer to your face, feeling as though it's jerking and moving slowly, maybe even quickly. I'm not sure, moving closer and closer to the face. That's right. And Linda, is it your hand or your arm that's moving closer to your face?
My fingers.
That's right. Amazing. So as you allow those fingers to move closer and closer to your face, as you find your hand coming closer and closer, once it gets to that point about an inch or two away, you can just allow it to move closer and closer until it moves an inch or two away. And when it does, you can just allow yourself to close your eyes and gently allow the hand to rest on your thigh, just allowing the hand to get closer and closer and closer and closer. That's right. So you allow it to get closer and closer. You find yourself more deeply relaxed than ever before. That's right. As you close your eyes and allow that hand to relax, you may take a deep breath here in through the nose and out through the mouth. With your eyes closed, you can continue to listen to the sound of my voice. And as I guide you with my voice, your eyes will feel even more and more relaxed. You can notice, Linda, as your eyes continue to relax more and more, more and more. You can notice that they're so relaxed that they are glued together. Even the tiny muscles, your eyebrows, your eyes are so relaxed that you do not want to open them. And with every word I speak, you will feel even more and more relaxed. They're relaxed to the point that you do not want to open them. In fact, they are glued shut. You can try to open them and you won't be able to, not because I say so, but because of the powerful nature of your subconscious mind. Knowing that this is evidence of the power within you to relax, to receive, and just knowing that you can relax more and more. And just even in this state of hypnosis, knowing that each time you are guided into a state of hypnosis to surpass that critical mind, you will find it easier and easier to go deeper and deeper into hypnosis each and every time that you enter that state, welcoming this deep sleep like state and knowing that having this relationship and powerful nature of your subconscious mind, that it allows you to see and feel and believe the things that haven't yet happened yet, but just knowing that inside of yourself there is a even deeper sense of confidence brewing, knowing that there's so much already that you've overcome, so much fearlessness that you've tapped into to overcome the things that at one time may not have seemed possible. Knowing now that anything is possible, anything you believe, anything you desire, knowing that as you approach new people, celebrities, that there's just such a deep sense of confidence and knowing that they too are looking for you, that they are ready to explore the stories that they have. You are the best person for them to work with. Knowing that as you engage with them, reach out to them, meet with them, that you too hold that celebrity like feeling, that energy, that attraction, that at any moment you need to tap into more of that confidence. You can simply close your eyes, take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, and just allow yourself to feel that confidence like you do right now. And knowing that even after today, from here on out, you will notice yourself. Notice just how confident you are more and more and more and more. That's right. Knowing that any moments where you need to engage this confidence to an even higher level that you get to, this confidence can continue to grow more and more than you ever imagined before. That's right. That this energy is in such a beautiful alignment with these celebrities that you cannot wait to work with, who cannot wait to work with you, that are just waiting to tell their stories, waiting for you to bring them to life. That's right. And in a moment here, we'll guide you back up from this deep sleep like state. In a moment, I will count from 0 to 5. And at the count of 5, Linda, you will be wide awake, completely out of hypnosis and feeling better than you have in a very long time. 0, going deeper still, feeling this fearlessness. It continues to beat like the beating of your heart running through every part of your being. That's right. 1, feeling this sense of confidence that it's exuding, that it's showing up all around you, that people are just finding themselves so attracted to you. That's right. 2, feeling this reassurance, this quiet confidence, even that even when you're not connecting fully with people, that there's a message that you're getting out there that's making their way to them. That's right. And 4, beginning to feel as though you're waking up from a long, relaxing nap, becoming more and more aware of your surroundings. And 5, eyes wide open, wide awake, completely out of hypnosis, feeling better than you have in a very long time, and just taking a moment to come back to the body, whatever way feels good for you. How are you feeling?
I feel very relaxed and yeah, I feel very relaxed. And I think that's an important piece for me, is to
Mm,
feel relaxed. Yeah.
yeah. And with, these suggestions that I shared with you, and it's important for me to share with others too, like you don't need to remember everything that was shared. The beauty of this work too is that our subconscious mind will remember exactly what it is it needs to remember, so that it is continuing to like coach us like that internal coach, right? So there may be suggestions or words that you were able to hold on to, but it's that feeling of relaxation, like you said, that allows us to remember like what it gets to feel like to be confident. Like there gets to be a relaxation component, there gets to be that self trust and that embodiment. So I'm really glad you had that experience, and I really thank you for trusting me to guide you through that experience, because even though it was very rapid, a very, suggestibility test or to rapid induction, I'm really glad that I got to share this with you and for everyone else who's watching.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I do have a question, because I find myself yawning a lot
Mm,
during this type of
yes.
experience. And so can you share with us why that is? It's not like I'm bored, right? Because we're taught to believe
No.
that yawning means you're bored, but that's not the
Right.
case at all. So why don't you share like why that happened? And before we go there, I see Sally put the thing on there. So make sure you go get a copy of the book, Mind Body Connection, at actiontakerspublishing.com/connection. Lauren's story is in there. We didn't even touch on her story. We won't have time to do that because I really wanted to check this out with the suggestibility test and everything. So you got to go read her story in the book, Mind Body Connection. Plus, we have a lot of free gifts over there for you. So why is it that when I experience these types of things that I yawn?
Yeah. Oh, I love this question because I remember when I started experiencing hypnosis, I would find myself like towards the end of my session where the suggestions were really getting in there. We had done a lot of the exploration, and my feet would turn back and forth like this. And I was like, is there something wrong with me? Right? Like, is this weird? And it's this movement of energy, right? For me, it manifests in that moving of my feet, sometimes yawns as well. And, when our nervous system feels that amount of safety, that relaxation, where it feels safe, we're able to shift energy. And through yawning is a great way
Hmm.
that our body is signaling to us like we are safe, we feel supported. And that was a big thing that I worked on overcoming too, because I grew up in ballet class being told, do not yawn, it's disrespectful, you look like you're bored. But actually, moving my body was releasing that energy. And no one told me, like, it's safe to yawn. Like, that's signaling to our body that we are safe and supported and relaxed. So I think it's when I see people yawning, it's such a beautiful thing because I'm like, yes, I know their nervous system is doing what it needs to do as well. So it's a beautiful thing to experience.
That yawn away, y'all,
Yawn
yawn
away.
away. So it's interesting you say that because what was going through my head, like flashing through my head, all these different experiences of times that I maybe have been yawning myself or seeing somebody yawn. And like if you're attending a conference, I do find myself yawning a lot. But that's
Mhm.
so from what I'm hearing you say, it's, I have so much stuff that's going on up here, like the synapses are going
Yeah.
crazy, right? And I'm experiencing something completely different. And this is one of the ways I'm able to express that I'm feeling
Mhm.
comfortable and confident in the like what I'm learning, maybe. Is that
That
kind of right?
that could be, and it's like that release of energy maybe that is also being stored in our body to, like, keep our body, not holding on to maybe certain emotions or feelings, like, allowing that flow of energy. So, I'm sure there's someone too in the book somewhere that's talking all about the somatics of it, so
Right,
it'll be
right.
interesting to read more. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, again, go get your copy of the book, Mind Body Connection, at actiontakerspublishing.com/connection. I'll put Lauren's, the title of her chapter is Unlocking Life's Possibilities, tapping into the mind, body, heart, intuition connection with hypnosis. We talked all about hypnosis today. And then you can connect with Lauren at her website at lauren-best.com. Lauren, is there a way for them to sign up for a suggestibility test? On your website, or how
Yes.
does that work?
Yeah, so you can join me for a free consultation call where we'll actually, look at what it is your goals are or your desires are. And even if you don't know, if you don't have goals or you don't know where you're going, but you're feeling like just something like is here to, to be looked at or you're ready to explore, like don't feel like you have to have all the answers. So whatever it is you're kind of ready to shift through, we can talk about, you can experience the suggestibility test and what it's like to receive some of those hypnotic suggestions. So already we'll start to reprogram the mind before we do a full session together, but it's a great way, I think, for people to also build that trust in me and themselves, which is really good. I feel like finding a practitioner for anything gets to be like dating, right? It's important we find the
Right.
people that we're most aligned with. So we can definitely meet for one of those complimentary consultation calls for them to experience it.
Yeah, I went through a lot of turds when I first started dating, so
Right?
you definitely don't wanna do that.
No.
So, the last question I have for you, because like, we're way over time, but I mean, I could talk to you for hours, but is like, who is this ideal for? Because maybe it's not for everybody, I don't know. I'm sure it
Mhm.
would be beneficial for most people, but who is
Yeah.
this really ideal for?
Yeah, I think, there is that level of openness that we talked about
Mm,
earlier of, maybe not having to feel like you need to be ready to let go of anything, but just like that desire to become open to, learning more about yourself or gaining more trust about yourself or just being open to explore. I think that's a really really important thing, and there's so many different types of hypnotherapists out there or people who like specialize in different areas, right? I'm
mm,
probably not the best person to go to, although I can help people with say addictions or different areas. There are amazing hypnotists out there who really specialize in that. For me it really is the people who are interested to just really learn more about themselves, but also are in this place of uncertainty, and it could be within their lives or their relationships, their work, their business, whatever it may be. For me it's like this place of uncertainty is a place that I like to play because that's where I was, and because I was there I know what is like to feel that overwhelm, to not believe in myself and you know feel stagnant from all the noise that's happening around me. So, we can build a lot of trust in that way, inside of yourself. And that's something that I really am passionate about doing because it's a game changer. It's changed my life. And I know it can change so many other people's lives as well.
yeah, awesome. Thanks so much, Lauren, for being part of this, being part of this book and other books that you've been part of with us as well, and future books that you will be part of. And so I want to just have you, go to her website, lauren-best.com, connect with her, get that I would call it possibility test, impossibility test, the suggestibility test. Go over there and get that. And then also go to our website, actiontakerspublishing.com/connection. Go get your copy of the book. Go get your free books, free gifts as well. So, Lauren, again, thanks so much for being part of this. Truly appreciate you. And just, it's been amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's so powerful for those of you watching that maybe haven't, like, you've got the bug to write, but you're super scared. Collaboration books are an incredible place to start. And just to plug Action Takers a little bit, I don't know about other publishers. They're the only one I've ever worked with, but they've made it so easy. Like, you literally write your chapter and hit send, and then it's like all the work is done.
I know.
That's literally all you do.
And then you're connected with all these other amazing women who are like-minded.
Stories and journeys, and yes,
they have made it so easy. So shout out to Linda and to Sally for just really creating this amazing space for us to use our voices.
Yes, I love it so much. That's amazing.